This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Right now at 6 on Good Morning Indiana.
To your family in our shoes. I don't want anybody to ever have to walk what our journey looks like.
A call to action. Their son killed by a guy paying his credit card bill while driving. This morning, one family's demand to stop distracted drivers.
Gunfire leaves 4 people dead on the city's northeast side.
They injected politics into a nonpartisan issue, which is the safety of our community.
This morning, the plea from FOP leaders for city officials to find a fix for the violence in the Circle City.
The coronavirus continues to claim new victims. We're working for you with why you need to watch out for hoaxes surrounding the deadly virus so you don't waste your money.
And she told, because I'm trying to open a transition house for women coming out of prison.
Hiring Hoosiers is looking at how a non-for-profit is working to give these women just out of prison a launching point for their future.
And it is 6 o'clock here on your Thursday, February 6th. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana.
Several slick spots out there, especially if you're coming southbound on I-65 at the Wyland exit on the on-ramp. I kind of did a little sliding this morning, so just be mindful of some black ice there on the interstate system.
And there was a lot of ice up on the north side as well. So, Todd, it seems like no matter where people are going to be commuting from this morning, they could run into this icy weather.
Yeah, you know, and you have to be cautious, right? Because you're driving down the road and the rain hits your windshield or the patchy drizzle, so you become a little complacent, thinking, oh, this is just rain, it's not going to be an issue. Well, the temperatures are still below freezing in almost all locations, ranging between 26 and 32 degrees, and that 32 is down in Bedford. So for most of us, this is still freezing drizzle, and as a result, there could be slick spots on untreated roadways. Most of the main roads are probably fine because they've seen quite a bit of salt, but those bridges, the overpasses, the sidewalks, your front steps as you walk out the door, definitely use caution on those. Now, when you look at the satellite radar picture, you see the clouds. You don't see a whole lot in the way of any precipitation. Well, drizzle's just so light that the radar can't pick it up. It is out there. I guarantee your windshield wipers will be going occasionally, at least, as you make your way into work here this morning. And, of course, as the kids head off to the bus stop, many schools are on delays, so check with that. As far as the rest of today, we'll lose the drizzle by about midday, and then the snow showers will start to move in later on this afternoon. The winter weather advisory is still in effect for most locations. It does no longer include Bloomington and points to the south. This goes till 10 a.m. And so as we get you throughout the morning hours, just use caution on the roadways. We'll get up to about 31 degrees by the noon hour, and that's about it for as far as the temperatures go. We'll talk more about the snow showers that arrive later on this afternoon, coming up in just a few minutes.
And Todd, right now we're up to 130 school delays and closures. Right now on the RTV6 app, you can see a full breakdown. That includes now Zionsville Community Schools and Hamilton Southeastern. Most of the delays are areas to our north. Let's take a look right here. This is I-65 from 46. No problems. Now we want to take a look from our live drive vehicle on I-70 East over on the east side now on Post Road. You can see that traffic is moving along up to speed in that area. Keep in mind, drivers on I-65 heading southbound near Edinburgh. We do have a jackknife semi blocking at least one lane of the interstate, starting to really slow down traffic. We'll continue to monitor all the issues, but as we've been saying all morning, watch for slick spots and black ice.
Here at 6:04, it is a push to beef up Indiana's distracted driver law.
Yeah, the Indiana House followed the governor's request, passing a bill making it illegal to be calling or texting while you're driving.
So now it's up to the Indiana Senate to make the call on the future of that proposal. This morning, here is a father's story. Here's Jordan Shearer in his own words.
What happened to Logan, what happened to us, wasn't an accident. It was completely preventable. That's where the anger comes from. You know, didn't have to happen. We were heading north on I-75, September 15th of 2016. Everyone else stopped that day, but this guy. Everyone else stopped. So, yeah, there's plenty of anger. There's plenty of anger because what happened was neglectful. It was unnecessary. It simply didn't need to take place. We were there for maybe 30 seconds when a guy came up behind us and plowed into us at incredibly high speed. He's on an Android phone. How am I supposed to rectify that? How am I supposed to crunch that my son is dead because a guy made a minimum payment on his credit card while he was driving crazy highway speeds behind the wheel? It just doesn't compute, yet that's what happened. It's disgusting, it's painful, it's insulting. Barred, it's insulting. And this is what we're talking about. This is why we fight. This is why Logan's story and Logan's legacy why they matter. Our son Logan, who was 9 at the time, died instantly. Our daughter Mallory, who was 5, my wife Brooke, and myself were all fairly heavily injured and all spent many days in the hospital. It's been a heartbreaking experience. Just asking people to turn the lights on, to think about their actions. You can see people out on the road FaceTiming. We should recognize that as scary. We don't want to see other people, other families go through the same trauma, the same awful experience, because the legislators are going to point out personal rights, personal freedoms. He's got the right to have that phone in his hand if he wants to while he's driving down the road. That doesn't fit. That does not fit. And we'll continue to fight.
A family story. Jordan, his wife Brooke, and their daughter Mallory, they survived that crash. Since Logan's death, the family of 4 has added a new baby girl to their home. In 2018, the family created the LivingForLoganFoundation.org. The foundation is focused on getting distracted driver laws passed around the country. The family is now waiting to see what the Indiana Senate does on this latest legislation.
Here at 6:07 and taking a turn, police are searching for answers this morning after 4 people were found dead inside a Northeast Side apartment. Our Alyssa Donovan is at the scene this morning. Alyssa, police are still out there working to determine what exactly unfolded last night.
That's right, Meredith. And you know what? Police were called here at 10:30 last night, so they've been out here for hours. And I want to show you, there is quite a bit of activity still going on at the scene. You can see the crime scene tape, and we are told that this actually happened just down Shady Oak Drive here, and it's hard to see, but there is still crime scene investigators on scene, and we are told that they arrived here right around 10:30 last night on reports of shots being fired. And when they arrived, they found 4 people who appeared to have been shot and killed inside one of the apartments here. Police tell us the victims were 3 men and 1 woman. Their names have not yet been released to the public. Right now, they're working to determine what led up to this shooting. These victims are added to the long list of those impacted by violence in the Circle City. Just hours before this shooting, City Council held a meeting where the Fraternal Order of Police called on them to act.
We were before the Indianapolis City County Council Public Safety Committee begging our elected leaders to take swift action to confront this violence. We had a proposal for a commission to bring all the relevant stakeholders around the table to start to fix the gaps in our system and start to combat the violence and push it back. And they rejected it.
Now, additional details surrounding the shooting have not been released. We do know that the shots were called in by someone who lives in this apartment complex here. Now, if you do have any information, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 262-TIPS. We're going to stay on scene this morning, and of course, we'll bring you any details that we learn as soon as they're available. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
The time now is 6:09, and police and community leaders on the city's northeast side will meet tonight to discuss a robbery and deadly shooting at a
Subway restaurant. The meeting starts at 6:30 at Castleton United Methodist Church on Shadeland Avenue. Officials will talk about neighborhood safety and crime itself. You may recall that 35-year-old Ashok Kumar was shot and killed in an attempted robbery on January the 27th at the Subway there on Shadeland near 75th Street. Police released these surveillance pictures of 3 suspects in the case. No arrests have been reported. If you have any information, you are urged to call Crime Stoppers anonymously.
Time right now is 6:10, and February is American Heart Month, and RTV6 is partnering with the Go Red for Women campaign, sponsored by the American Heart Association. This month, we're highlighting women who have overcome health obstacles and are now living heart-healthy lives. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with the story of a woman who changed her life one small goal at a time. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning, Lauren. So yeah, it started with one small goal into another small goal that turned into a journey that Allison Morrison never thought would be possible. She lost 100 pounds in just 2 years. Now take a closer look at this side-by-side of Allison Morrison. On the right, her heaviest. In the middle, down 50 pounds. And that woman you see in the red dress, well, she's lost 100 pounds. And that's why this year she is one of the finalists for the American Heart Association's Real People, Real Change Award. An award for people who have made an effort to live a healthier life. This morning, Morrison has this message for anyone who's working for a healthier you.
Take it slow, don't give up, make tiny goals, and the tiny goals reach those daily and change your goals daily. But the little changes in your life lead to big changes.
Morrison says having the support from her friends and family is another reason she had so much success. Now, tomorrow is National Wear Red Day, so if you do wear red, be sure to share those pictures with us on social media using the hashtag IndyGoesRed. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you so much. A non-for-profit working to transform the lives of formerly incarcerated women. New at 6:13 in Hiring Hoosiers, how the organization is giving these women a lot of hope. Now let's check in with our very own TK. Todd Clausen, good morning.
Raphael, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. As you walk out the door, you need to use a little bit of caution. Yesterday evening, as you all know, that wintry mix moved in. It's now continued into the morning hours. We've kind of tapered off the steady precipitation, just a little bit of freezing drizzle, but the temperatures are still below 32 degrees. That means slick spots will be possible. Give yourself some extra time. We'll replace the drizzle with snow showers later on today. More on that coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now, 6:12. Stay with us. We're back in just a few minutes.
Dream Mattress Studio at Value City Furniture.
Welcome back. Our Hiring Hoosiers initiative strives to share opportunities for training and growth for all Hoosiers.
And that includes Hoosiers who may have spent time behind bars.
This morning, Amanda Starantino explains how Project Leah is transforming the lives of formerly incarcerated women working to repurpose discarded materials.
With new tools, Joyce David explores a new job. It's an opportunity for a new path for the 38-year-old who is just weeks out of a 6-year sentence behind bars.
Just because I have a past doesn't, hinder my ability to be successful as an individual.
Joyce is one of 3 new employees of Project Leah, a nonprofit job training program specifically for formerly incarcerated women. In this space in the Circle City Industrial Complex, the women working here are repurposing discarded material into one-of-a-kind home and office furnishings. But there is a lot more to the hands-on work they are doing.
And then utilizing materials that other people have discarded or don't see the beauty in it. It's kind of like the same thing with us. People don't always see the beauty in us, so we are able to refurbish materials and refurbish ourselves kind of at the same time.
Once hired, Project Leah employees are expected to work Monday through Friday for 40 hours a week, like a normal work week. Plus, this program is expected to last 1 year before these women move on to their career path.
A lot of times these women are dealing with trauma and in a more survival mindset, and prevents you from dreaming big.
Elizabeth Wallen is the founder and executive director of Project Leah. It's her effort to reduce the recidivism rate in Indianapolis.
These are people with the same dreams and goals that I have for myself, or I want to provide for my family, my friends, and they want to do the same, but we have different options available to us and different support systems set up.
Nearly 60% of women report not having full-time work in the month prior to arrest. In addition to providing employment, Project Leah offers skills training to help overcome obstacles to re-entry.
It's very entrepreneurial in ways, involved in all aspects of the business, from marketing, selling, producing, ideation of new products, and prototyping, which in ways is a good practice for their lives and what they're dealing with when they go back home.
The woodworking, the sewing, the creating are all new lessons for these women, but as each progresses through the technical skills and life skills, it gives her the chance for a successful transition to a long-term career opportunity.
That's one of the main reasons why I do like working here too, because I feel like I'm helping myself, but I'm also helping other people.
Program participants receive educational opportunities in financial literacy, communication, business ethics, and health and wellness, as well as support for a future job search. For more information on how to get involved with Project Leah and check out their store, you can head on over to hiringhoosiers.com.
The time now is 6:18. Time to check your forecast. The keyword today is caution and school delays. More than 140 schools on some sort of delay, Todd, because of the weather.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of ice out there. To the north, there's a little more snow than what we saw here in the metro area. And you just got to give yourself some extra time. The main roads weren't bad on my drive into work, but you get those bridges, those overpasses, sidewalks where kids wait and have to walk to the corner maybe to wait for the bus. And they're slick, so you just got to give yourself some extra time this morning. And we're still dealing with patchy freezing drizzle out there currently across the area. So anything that's untreated, still accumulating a little bit of ice. This afternoon, we just deal with mainly cloudy skies and temperatures that really aren't going to move much at all throughout the course of the day. And then by this evening, snow showers will be moving back into the equation. They should be pretty light, some minor accumulations possible, as well as some reduced visibility across parts of the area. Here's the view from downtown off to the west, and you can see the low overcast sky. There's a little bit of drizzle, and temperatures are in the 20s and 30s, or right around freezing in Bloomington, but well below freezing to the north in Kokomo, as well as Indianapolis and Martinsville, sitting at 27 degrees. Not much is showing up on Storm Team 6 radar, but drizzle is so light, these radar beams have a harder time picking it up. So you'll definitely have to have the windshield wipers on occasionally throughout the course of your drive into work this morning. They won't be consistently going. I think you'll just have to pop them on every now and then. But nonetheless, there is some drizzle out there, and then we'll await some snow showers to make their way into the area later on today. So it's just a very wintry day with the slick conditions this morning, the freezing drizzle. Temperatures don't really move a whole lot throughout the day, and then we'll bring in these snow showers for the evening commute. And we'll be dealing with these snow showers off and on once they start through the evening hours, all the way into tomorrow as well. As far as any accumulation goes, there could be a coating to maybe a half an inch of snow, and that's just about it. It's not a big snowmaker for us, but obviously it doesn't take a whole lot to cause some issues out there on the roadways. We're in the 20s through the morning hours. By the noon hour, we're up to 31, and then temperatures just fall back into the 30s throughout the afternoon as those snow showers start to develop across the area. Here is the potential accumulation. Again, it's just a couple tenths of an inch of snow, and that is just about it. Going forward in this forecast, once we get to tomorrow and then eventually the weekend, tomorrow's pretty quiet, mostly cloudy, 33 degrees. More snow showers on Saturday, rain showers on Sunday. There is not a lot of sunshine in this 7-day planning forecast at all, unfortunately. And as we get into next week, though, the one thing that does change is high temperatures get back above normal. We're in the 40s starting on Sunday and could be close to 50 degrees by Wednesday. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We want to show you what you can expect on the roads from our live drive vehicle. Right now, our photographer Shay Goodfaster is traveling northbound on I-69 near 116th Street in Fishers. Interstates here looking pretty good, so that is good news. We do have several school delays, though, around that area in parts of Hamilton County, so check the RTV6 app for the full rundown on those. And a heads up to drivers down in southern parts of Johnson County, and drivers maybe heading to Bartholomew County. We do still have a jackknife semi near the Edinburgh exit on southbound I-65. One lane down there remains open.
The Tampa Lightning's newest recruit is just 12 years old. New at 6:25. We'll introduce you to him and explain the reason behind this young man joining the team.
And February is American Heart Health Month. Each morning, we're giving you a tip for a healthier lifestyle. Tonight, when you're getting ready for dinner, eat colorful vegetables to brighten your day. These tips are part of the Go Red for Women campaign, sponsored by the American Heart Association. It is 6:22. You're watching Good Morning Indiana, right here on RTV6.
Flooring, floors to your home, that too.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana, 6:24 on your Thursday. And take a look here at our INDOT traffic camera. This is I-70 out in Greenfield near the rest area. You can see traffic is pretty heavy through that spot. We did have an emergency vehicle on the side of the road. We've been getting reports of icy spots on bridges and overpasses in Hancock County. So just keep that in mind as you're heading out the door right now. We know Greenfield Central Schools are on a 2-hour delay, Eastern Hancock Schools. So check the RTV6 app for the full list.
All right, alert, alert, reminder to all the men out there. Valentine's Day is next Friday.
Can I pause? What about the women?
We always remember.
Okay, we're good.
Don't even try. Don't even try. But after we get through Valentine's Day, it's time to start thinking St. Patrick's Day. McDonald's already has us beat, though. The restaurant bringing back its Shamrock Shake. Sales from the Shake helped build the first Ronald McDonald House for families of children who are fighting serious illnesses. The Shake returns nationwide on February 19th. They also have a Shamrock Shake McFlurry with Oreos added.
Well, listen, a good cause, but my biggest fear is that after that holiday, we'll go right back to Christmas. So can we just slow down?
No, we have 4th of July then.
Well, you know, here we
Indy
go.
500.
All good causes.
Don't skip summer.
But let's slow down just a little bit. A Wisconsin school district is urging students with special needs to hit the dance floor. The Ladysmith School District held their annual Snowball Dance on Wednesday. Teachers say events like these are important to the kids that are often overlooked at other events. The power of music, the power of dance.
Very cool. Well, the latest signee of the Tampa Bay Lightning NHL team is just 12 years old. Look at him here. Connor Perkins from Edmonton, Canada, has cystic fibrosis and is a huge Lightning fan. For Connor's Make-A-Wish dream, he signed a one-day contract with the Lightning. He got to skate with the team and even passed the puck. Look at him there. Good job.
Andy got a trip to Florida, which I don't blame him for going this time of year, being from Canada. So.
I'm a big fan. We're the same height, so.
Well, hopefully you're not doing any ice skating outside today, but you could be on your sidewalk.
You could. You know, when you walk out your front door, make sure you kind of shuffle those feet a little bit instead of taking that big first step, because things are slick. And of course, you could always walk on the grass for a little more traction compared to the sidewalk. Winter weather advisory still continues until 10 a.m. here this morning for all the counties you see shaded in green, and it's most of central Indiana. And as temperatures are still below freezing, we still have a lot of moisture out there, some patchy drizzle, and it's still in the form of freezing drizzle. So anything that's untreated is going to be slick. So that's why you need to use caution as you walk out the door this morning. Just give yourself that extra time. No need to rush. And the high temperatures today just stay in the 30s. There's not much movement temperature-wise, so not the most pleasant day for us here across the area. In fact, we can end with a few snow showers. We'll talk more about that coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
You just heard Todd. Go slow this morning on the roads. Now, this morning, the efforts to contain the coronavirus continue here in our country and really across the globe.
Yeah, so working for you, our John Matarese is looking at some of the hoaxes surrounding that virus so you don't waste your money.
You knew this was bound to happen. After a month of frightening news about the coronavirus, conspiracy theorists have all sorts of ideas about where it came from and even say that it was planned. In a new report, Wired magazine calls the coronavirus outbreak a petri dish for conspiracy theories. It says misinformation is, pardon the pun, going viral on Facebook and Twitter. The first theory, that it started with Chinese people eating bat soup. But that famous photo is 4 years old and was not even taken in China. Other theories claim it was a bioweapon that escaped from a Chinese military lab in Wuhan. And finally, the U.S. government knew it was coming because Lysol bottles last year had labels saying Lysol kills human coronavirus. But Wired says coronaviruses have been around for decades. SARS and MERS are two earlier versions. This type is new, and Lysol has not yet been proven to kill it. So watch for conspiracy theories and don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday, this is your 6:30 news feed. The trial for the Tri-West High School teacher and coach Tyler Bruce now scheduled for April. Bruce was in court on Wednesday to face charges of sexual misconduct with a student. The judge entered a preliminary plea of not guilty. The Northwest Hendricks School District is taking steps to have Bruce fired.
Today, family, friends, and members of the racing community will gather here in Indianapolis for the funeral of veteran driver John Andretti. He died last Thursday at the age of 56 after a 3-year-long battle with colon cancer. Visitation starts at 10 a.m. at St. Peter and Paul Cathedral here downtown and will continue until the funeral mass at 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Indigo is making more improvements to the red line in the coming months. Audible crosswalk signals will be installed at all red line stations. This will help riders with visual impairments to cross the street safely. Also, Indigo is replacing the rubber medians along College Avenue and Meridian with concrete medians. Call 6 Investigates first reported that to you last fall.
More local news. Plans are moving forward on a big new development in the town of Speedway. It will include a hotel and conference center. The Founders Square development is at the northwest corner of Crawfordsville Road and High School Road. The hotel will be a Hampton Inn with a 9,000 square foot conference center. A spokesperson says the town is in final negotiations to land a national grocery chain.
A new airline landing at the Indianapolis International Airport means new flights and new jobs. Contour Airlines plans to launch operations on June 10th. Direct flights will be offered from Indianapolis to Nashville, St. Louis, and Pittsburgh. The company says it will create up to 55 new jobs in central Indiana by 2023. You can apply at contourairlines.com. Well, here at 6:30, Raphael, I don't want to say you predicted this, but you warned people that Whiteland Road is slick.
I did a little bit of slipping and sliding.
Yeah.
I just tapped my brakes like a little bit, and woof, I ended up on the right lane. So take it easy this morning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't know the routes of a lot of these salt trucks, and the roads are salted. You know, they could be just fine, but if they turn and then you go through an intersection and that part of the street's not salted, then you hit these slick spots. So that's why we just tell you to slow down, as conditions will change as you cross the miles off here on your morning commute. Now, if you parked your car outside, it's going to look a lot like the RTV6 vehicle outside this morning with a layer of ice caked on it. So you're definitely going to have to defrost your windshield and make sure you scrape your windshield off before you start to get on your drive into work. Don't look through just that little peephole. Make sure the whole windshield is cleared off in your side mirrors as well. As we go throughout the day, there's a little bit of patchy drizzle right now, but precip chances ramp up as we get into the afternoon. And I said precip chances because this morning it's some drizzle. Later on this afternoon, it's actually some snow showers that'll be making their way into the area. There's not a lot showing up on Storm Team 6 radar right now. The clouds, obviously, with the satellite picture, but the precipitation this morning is just so light that it's not getting picked up by the radar, and then eventually these snow showers will start to pinwheel through here later on this afternoon. Temperatures hold steady this morning, so we stay below freezing through the duration of your entire commute. So there's not going to be much melting that takes place. That's why we'll rely on the salt on the roadways to help to keep us safe as these areas of drizzle continue through the noon hour. We'll talk more about the snow showers later on this afternoon, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. I want to take you down to Johnson County. We told you that Whiteland Road was slippery from Raphael's experience, and now we're hearing from Whiteland Police that we have a 3-car crash on Whiteland Road at I-65. You can't see it here from our view at our camera. You can see traffic there on the interstate is still moving this morning, so that is good news, but you will need to avoid the ramps there in that area as traffic is completely shut down as they have a wrecker on the scene. So if you're maybe that's part of your way to get to work this morning, I would take US 31 up to Worthsville Road instead. Hop on the interstate in that area of Greenwood. We'll continue to keep you updated. But let's take a live look right now from our live drive vehicle, showing you what you can expect on I-69 up in Fishers. This is near 106th Street. Traffic on the interstates here looks okay. We do have several school delays, though, up there in Hamilton County and areas to our north. Keep that in mind before you said they send the kids out to the bus stop this morning.
Lauren, thank you. We continue to follow a developing story this morning from the city's northeast side. That's where Metro Police found 4 people shot to death inside of an apartment.
Our Alyssa Donovan is live at the scene this morning. Alyssa, police are still out there this morning. This remains an active investigation.
That's right. So it's been about 8 hours since police were called here to Shady Oak Drive. This is an apartment complex. They were called here right around 10:30 last night. And when they arrived, they did find 4 people who they believed were deceased inside of an apartment here. And when they did walk inside, they tell us it looked like 3 men and 1 woman who had been shot. Now, those victims' names have not been released. Right now, they are working to determine what led up to the shooting. The victims are added to a long list of those who have been impacted by violence in the Circle City. Just hours before this shooting, City Council held a meeting where the Fraternal Order of Police called on them to act.
We were before the Indianapolis City County Council Public Safety Committee begging our elected leaders to take swift action to confront this violence. We had a proposal for a commission to bring all the relevant stakeholders around the table to start to fix the gaps in our system and start to combat the violence and push it back. And they rejected it.
I'm offended by the term associating my race with crime and describing problems in our community. Crime, and the race black being used. Not one time has it been used about a portion of the homicides and violence were by white males.
Now, additional details have not been released by police on what happened during the shooting and why it happened. We do know that those shots were called in by someone who lives here at the apartment complex. And right now, this is still an active scene. So if you live in the area, it's best to avoid this as police continue to conduct their investigation to determine what happened here. If you have any information that might be helpful to police, they ask you to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 262-TIPS. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. The time now is 6:35. Also this morning, a grieving mother is asking for your help getting justice for her daughter. 26-year-old Alexis Edwards was shot and killed just days after Christmas, and this happened right outside of her home near 52nd Street and Georgetown Road on the northwest side of Indianapolis. Alexis's mother, Ruby Berry, believes several people know who the alleged killer is because there was an altercation hours before the shooting. Ruby says 4 people went to Alexis's home at 4 a.m. looking for her friend. After that, words were exchanged on social media. Now Ruby's asking anyone with any information to come forward.
Our whole family is devastated. It's horrible. It's just a horrible experience, and I just find it in your heart. If you know anything, please contact the police.
Alexis leaves behind a 3-year-old son who was also shot. Thankfully, he's okay. The family has started a GoFundMe page to raise money for a reward to help get information in this case. You can also leave an anonymous tip by calling Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
February is American Heart Month, and RTV6 is partnering with the Go Red for Women campaign sponsored by the American Heart Association. This month, we're highlighting women who have overcome health obstacles and are now living heart-healthy lifestyles. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with the story of one woman who changed her life one small goal at a time. Kelsey, this woman's story is so inspiring.
Yeah, that's right, Meredith. She started with one small goal every day, whether that be drinking more water, eating a healthier meal, or taking walks each day. But she says conquering those small goals every day has now led her to a happier, healthier life, and no doubt added years onto her life.
I never thought I would be a before and after.
Allison Morrison has lost 100 pounds since 2017.
I didn't recognize myself. I could barely walk. I was using a cane. I couldn't get out to take my dog out. I couldn't do stairs.
Morrison had elevated blood pressure and cholesterol, was at risk for developing diabetes, and had doctors suggesting a knee replacement. So she started meeting with a wellness coach and made small changes in her lifestyle, like drinking more water, eating healthier, and walking regularly.
I'm trying to be very active. I walk up to 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day. And I didn't have to have knee replacement, which is the best thing. My heart is a lot healthier now.
She's been nominated by her wellness coach as a finalist for the Real People, Real Change Award with the American Heart Association.
I was so honored to be that because my father had passed away of heart disease.
The weight off her waist is now weight off her shoulders, giving her a new lease on life.
I remember myself sitting on the couch. It was a little over 2 years ago, and I just felt as though I was just tied up with the chains. And now I describe it as now I'm running through a field with puppies and glitter falling on me. I mean, it's just two different extremes.
Morrison says her success wouldn't have been possible without the support from her family and friends. And tomorrow is National Wear Red Day. So if you do wear red tomorrow, be sure to share those pictures with us on social media using the hashtag IndyGoesRed. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you so much. It's taken 3 long days, but finally they've counted all the votes in Iowa. Coming up, how close the former mayor of South Bend could be to a major win. Details next, right here on Good Morning Indiana.
People Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time now is 6:42. Pete Buttigieg continues his march towards this week's New Hampshire primary. The former South Bend mayor speaking last night at a climate change town hall for young people.
Just hours from now, we could find out finally whether he could hold on to that narrow win in Monday's Iowa caucuses. The Iowa Democratic Party now says 97% of the precincts have been counted. As of now, Buttigieg has an extremely narrow lead in state delegates over Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. Essentially, it's a statistical tie. Senator Elizabeth Warren remains in third place, while former Vice President Joe Biden is in fourth. Iowa Democrats say they expect to have the final delegate numbers later this morning.
The next contest is next week's New Hampshire primary. The only Democratic debate before that primary will be right here on RTV6. Live coverage of the debate starts at 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
President Trump's re-election bid continues to move forward. The president is now officially on the primary ballot in Indiana. Second Lady Karen Pence returned to the Hoosier State yesterday to file the necessary paperwork to get President Trump's name on the Indiana ballot. She delivered the necessary documents to the Secretary of State's office. The deadline for candidates to file for the May 5th primary is noon today. And it is halftime for state lawmakers. Next, we'll show you what's alive and what's dead for the rest of their session.
And as you walk out the door here this morning, you're walking out to slick conditions. Some of you seeing snow to the north. Most of us seeing a little layer of ice on your front steps as you walk out the door. Use some extra caution. Temperatures still in the 20s. They're still dealing with a little bit of freezing drizzle. We'll replace the drizzle with some snow showers later on this afternoon. We'll talk more about that and potential accumulation coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 6:43. Stay with us. We're back in just a few minutes.
Now at Ashley Home Store, this is home.
Welcome back. It is 6:46, and we're monitoring some traffic issues for your commute. Not only do we have more than 100 school delays out there this morning, but we have monitoring a crash right now in the Whiteland area. Can't see it from this view of our camera, but it is blocking off the area at Whiteland Road to I-65, so avoid that this morning. Also down in Edinburgh, we have a jackknife semi in the southbound lanes of I-65. Use caution on those roads.
We've officially reached the halfway point of the 2020 legislative session. No new bills can be introduced, and anything that hasn't passed its first chamber yet will not be considered for the rest of the session.
So here's our scorecard of some of the bills that won't become law and some of the bills that still have a chance. First, a bill that would prohibit people from holding their cell phones or electronic devices while driving is in the Senate right now. The current distracted driving law only applies to texting and driving, and police say that's hard to enforce. It already passed through the House. If it passes the Senate, it will head to Governor Holcomb's desk. Also, there's still one bill alive that focuses on addressing teacher pay. It would let schools give teachers who are rated as improvement necessary on their evaluations a pay boost the following year. It would also let schools give bonuses to highly credentialed teachers or teachers in charge of special subjects and classes.
And two bills that won't be considered: a bill that would require the Marion County prosecutor to charge people for marijuana possession or make other county prosecutors do it. Last year, prosecutor Ryan Mears started a new policy where he won't prosecute for less than an ounce of marijuana. And a bill that gives more accommodations to pregnant workers is technically still alive, but it was drastically changed this week. Instead of making employers give reasonable accommodations, such as more seating or schedule changes, the bill calls for a committee to study the issue this summer.
Things were looking good for the Indiana Pacers in Toronto. Victor Oladipo was playing more minutes and playing better. Malcolm Brogdon had a solid game, and the Pacers had an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter. But the Raptors came roaring back. They closed the game with an 11-0 run to pull out a 119-118 win over Indiana. The Pacers will try to regroup as they have to play the Raptors again tomorrow night at Bankers Life Fieldhouse.
All right, we got to get a check of our forecast this morning. I just saw we got a push alert from the app. 150 school delays this morning. Wow. So that number has been growing since we first came on air this morning, and that's really due to the road conditions.
Right, and we've seen a number of local police departments and sheriff's departments tweeting out about accidents or just, you know, hey, this is an area where we are seeing slick spots. So people do need to be careful out there. And Todd, when can we expect maybe things to dry out? Is that a possibility at all today?
You know, we'll get rid of the drizzle that's out there here in a little bit, but temperatures are not going to get above freezing in most locations today. So unless roadways and sidewalks are treated, they are still going to be slippery. So the best advice we can give you is this caution sign here. So just give yourself some extra time, slow down on the roadways. Just know that conditions will change over the course of the miles that you drive, even though it may not seem like there's a lot of precipitation out there, and there's not. It's just some drizzle, and you think it's just plain old rain when it hits your windshield, but with temperatures still below freezing, when it hits the ground, it freezes over. So those bridges, the sidewalks, your front steps, you just got to be careful this morning. It takes you about 6-7 times longer with slushy roads to stop than it would on a normal day. Keep that in mind. 27 in Indy right now, 31 in Bloomington, 25 is the current temperature over in Kokomo. Anywhere you go, temperatures are at or below freezing. We're right at 32 degrees in Bedford, so it's probably not as big of an issue with any freezing conditions down to the south. But look at this, where there's more in the way of snow. Temperatures are in the mid-20s from Tipton up into portions of the Peru area. Temperatures today only get up to right around 31 degrees. There won't be a whole lot in the way of sunshine today to help melt things. So what you have outside on the ground is just slowly going to melt away a little bit this afternoon. And then as soon as the sun sets, though, this evening, even though we won't see the sunshine, it still kind of works its magic through the clouds this time of year. Everything will refreeze over, and we'll add the element of some snow showers into the forecast. The Storm Team 6 radar is pretty quiet right now, but we do have some patchy drizzle. It's just so light the radar beams can't pick it up. But notice the snow flaring up here in Champaign. That is going to be the trend throughout the day as this system continues to pull off towards the east. We'll lose the drizzle this morning, only to be replaced by snow showers this afternoon and into the evening hours. The biggest impact with these snow showers would be visibility on the roadways. It could put down a quick coating in spots or maybe just a little bit more than that, but we're not expecting huge issues as far as the snow goes. But again, just give yourself some extra time, because snow on top of ice, not a good combo. Since you can't see the ice, you take that step, and next thing you know, you're sitting on your backside pretty quickly. And then as we continue into Friday morning, we're going to be dealing with some lingering snow showers, and that is just about it. But overall, tomorrow it's a pretty quiet day for us with temperatures that will be in the 30s. It's chilly, still below normal. Once we get to the weekend, the weather pattern remains pretty active. Saturday, snow showers, little to no accumulation. Sunday, 43 degrees with scattered rain showers in the forecast. And then next week, temperatures will actually be above normal. By the time we get to Wednesday, could be close to 50 degrees. But again, use caution today from start to finish as temperatures remain below freezing. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We are keeping a close eye on your roads this morning as you're heading out there. Keep in mind that we do have that crash. Whiteland Police reporting at Whiteland Road near I-65, shutting down that area. So hop on US 31, take you up to Worstville Road in Greenwood to get on the interstate in that direction if you're in Johnson County. Keep that in mind. We also have down in Edinburgh 2 crashes on northbound, southbound I-65 in Edinburgh. Traffic is still open, though, in that area. But here from Live Drive, you can see your commute on the east side of town. Westbound I-70 traveling near Emerson Avenue. You can see right here everything is moving along up to speed. But we do have wet roads out there, so no matter where you are around central Indiana, use caution this morning.
It promised to be the future of trying on clothes, but it was gone almost as soon as it arrived. We'll show you a brief but magical invention you can find in stores next on Throwback Thursday. You will not want to miss this one, so stick around.
Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
Well, it's time for Throwback Thursday, and back in the 1980s, big department stores were the place to be.
And one of those legendary stores was Ellis Ayers right here in Indianapolis. And in 1985, they had a new invention that promised to eliminate the hassle of trying on clothes.
It was called the Magic Mirror, and it was a dressing technology that let you see how you would look in an outfit without removing any of your own clothing. One of our favorites, RTV6 legend Barbara Boyd, tried it out.
How it works. Photographs of 80 different garments are superimposed over you. You call up each of the special photos, which automatically adjusts to the size of the image on the mirror, your image.
First of all, I'll adjust the light up to frame your face, and then bring the shoulders to exactly your shoulder dimension. And as we do that, then we'll flip through the different slides of the clothes so you can see how you actually look.
You stay in your own clothes, stand in front of the mirror, and see yourself in the mirror wearing prospective purchases.
Barbara, it all looked good. Well, unfortunately, the magic was short-lived for the Magic Mirror. The mirrors vanished just 1 month after Barbara Boyd's report.
Oh,
that's pretty much.
If only the ice could disappear, right? And the snow. But here we are, Todd Clausen.
It is February after all. It is a little slick out there this morning. Use caution, a little bit of freezing drizzle currently outside right now. We'll replace that with snow showers later on this afternoon with temperatures that don't do a whole lot throughout the day today. Only about 31. Tomorrow, 33, mostly cloudy, more snow showers for the weekend.
Todd, thanks, and thanks for joining us. We're back here in 25 minutes and throughout Good Morning America.
We hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. Stay safe out there.
We'll see you tomorrow morning.